Glad you're watching Outnumbered. Stunning new information emerging from top Hillary Clinton aide Huma Abedin's 6 hours of testimony on Clinton's email scandal. The conservative group Judicial Watch is suing to get to the truth of all this. Yesterday, Abedin admitted the private email server Clinton used as Secretary of State may have interfered with her ability to do her job. She gave one example where Clinton missed a call from a foreign minister because aides did not receive her emails on the matter. A Clinton campaign spokesperson said this about that. Quote, Judicial Watch represents everything that is wrong with our political system, and if you want proof, just look at this latest round of leaks that are contradicted by their own transcripts. It's truly disgraceful, end quote. Your thoughts, Melissa?
Well, I mean, as we see more come out from these emails, and one thing becomes obvious, everything that we were told early on from Hillary Clinton about this is not accurate. I mean, when she talked about that she handed over all the emails and tons have come out that she didn't. Now we see that this story about how it was so much more convenient and you did it for the sake of convenience, and that was something that a lot of Americans maybe could relate to. We realize now it was actually very inconvenient, that there were a lot of problems with doing it this way. But I think the email that said the most was the one where they said, you know, we really have to analyze how this system works and make sure we design it in a way where we control all the information. And you wonder, what is it that you had that you wanted to protect, that you wanted to make sure couldn't be, you know, subpoenaed or pulled by the press or Freedom of Information Act? What were you talking about that you wanted to make sure you kept secret? And I think that all has to do with the foundation and things that she was paid for through speeches.
So you're going to trade out the C word, convenient, and put in the word control. Okay.
Yes.
You know, sometimes people put systems in place. If you just kind of look at where we have, like, security systems, not for what is being done, but what might be done. For instance, maybe there's a plan of action, just the way someone operates, that they want to have something there. Are you following me here?
I am indeed. Although I would throw out an O word, which is obstruction of justice. This is a paper that she signed. This is not the specific paper, but a copy. It's an affidavit that swears under perjury, under her oath, that she turned over all the emails that she had that dealt with the government. I'll give it to you. But this is something she signed back in August. We know now from Huma's emails that there were some government emails that she didn't turn over. I'm just wondering if there is a charge of obstruction of justice that may be pursued by the FBI and eventually, perhaps, God knows, but by the Justice Department.
So here's what happens when attorneys get together with people who like to use words like is and the meaning of is and whatnot. While I do not know what information may be responsive for the purposes of this lawsuit, I have directed all my emails, blah, 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 blah. So I've been told by attorneys that sometimes that can be fudged and used as a loophole.
But so you talked about the convenience factor, and we know that the narrative all along was she did this for convenience and to consolidate her devices, to use one device. But Huma Abedin also revealing she didn't use just one device.
Right.
She also accessed this email, this private email, from her iPad. So that kind of dispels the truth on that. And then Huma Abedin in the testimony saying, I always tried to do the right thing and tried to be on my state.gov BlackBerry. That was my practice. Her aide knew better. Her aide knew that was the right thing to do.
Also used the term "do the right thing," which is insinuating that using the Clinton email account is doing the wrong thing. And she also said that she had a hard time communicating with her boss when the private server was being hacked.
Right.
You know, Huma said that in her deposition.
It was tough.
You know, we didn't hear anything from Brian Pagliano because he pleaded the fifth 125 times.
Just most recently. He had pleaded before then, too.
But we also heard in that IG report that, you know, not only did it fly in the face of the rules, they never asked permission. And that also contradicts what she said earlier about her email
patterns. A lot of patterns.
Melissa, real quickly, what I would point to now is that Huma Abedin tried to do the right thing. Was she being told not to? Because that takes us to a whole other level.
That's a great point. In the meantime, growing questions about a conflict of interest in the Hillary Clinton email scandal. This after it was revealed that Attorney General Loretta Lynch met privately with Bill Clinton Tuesday for about a half hour on board a private plane parked at the Phoenix airport. Lynch's agency is handling the Hillary Clinton email investigation, of course, but she says her conversation with the former president was primarily social and didn't discuss any matter pending before the department.
I was landing, he was headed out. He did come over and say hello and speak to my husband and myself and talk about his grandchildren and his travels and things like that. So that was the extent of that.
But when asked whether the meeting was appropriate considering the email investigation, Lynch refused to directly answer the question. And this comes just weeks after President Obama met with Lynch the very same day that he endorsed Hillary Clinton. Kennedy, you know how those conversations go. So you come on board. So maybe he didn't say anything. I mean, maybe it was just his presence. Yeah. He's coming on. He's taking her temperature. Or sometimes, you know, it's the charm offensive. You come on, you remind someone how much they like you.
What are the chances they're on the tarmac at the exact same time?
Well,
I mean, what are the chances of this meeting? And if I were an ethical attorney, not to mention an ethical attorney general of the United States of America, and the spouse of the person that my department was investigating walked toward my private, why is she on or not on a commercial aircraft? But if he was walking toward, I would make sure that I locked up all the doors just for the sake of not seeming like there was any impropriety at all.
You know who
whatsoever
would be participating in the locking? It would be all of the security around both of them, because there's no way that you have a chance meeting with a former president and a sitting AG.
But come on, Kennedy. They said they just talked about golf.
Yeah, okay, how are the grandkids? Great.
By the way,
that's 30 seconds.
Even Democrats say this stinks. A lot of Democrats in Congress are saying that. David Axelrod, other Democrats saying this it's law 101. If you are a prosecutor or somebody investigating another person, you do not meet with that person in private. She has to recuse herself from this investigation. At this point, it's absolute. She's just got to do it. This is too bad.
Think about it. If your spouse were under investigation by the FBI and being looked at potentially by the DOJ, would your spouse be able to meet?
No.
With Loretta Lynch?
I'd be desperate to go try and get that done, but I don't think I could possibly do it.
If it were a regular criminal trial,
let's be honest.
let's say I was on trial for something and the prosecutor was standing in the courthouse and my husband went over to the prosecutor. How quickly would the judge declare a mistrial?
There you go. And for the record, local news said that he waited at the airport for a while. He knew she was coming in and he waited for her to arrive and went out. That was their
even more is a deal in Hillary's administration.
How did he get her schedule?
There you go. I don't know.
So many questions.
Brand new Fox News